markets, all the way from Africa to Arab, at a very small price. No one would buy him. No one would keep him. He had no respect by the local community people. But when he attached himself to Rasulullah, when he enlightened the love of Rasulullah inside his heart, when he became the ashik of Rasulullah, when he became the lover of Rasulullah, when he became the true lover of Rasulullah, what happened? That same Hazrat Bilal, who no one would respect, he became such a great person that Hazrat Abu Bakr used to say, our leader Bilal is coming. Hazrat Umar Farooq used to say, our leader Bilal is coming. He became such a great person. एक बार तू बन जा सोनेदा, फिर सारी खुदाई तेरी है. And you all must have heard Hazrat Bilal. Today we have deen very simple. Today everything is very simple for us, very easy for us. But still we don't practice Islam. Still we don't practice the teachings of Islam. Still we don't have time to read namaz. Still we don't have time to recite the Quran. Still we have no time to recite tasbih. Still we have no time to recite durood. Still we have no time to act upon the commands of the Quran, act upon the commands of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But look at the companions. Look through how much difficulty they went. But they were steadfast, they were firm with their beliefs, with their aqidah, with their teachings. Hazrat Bilal, when he accepted Islam, what happened to him? He was dragged upon thorns. He was dragged upon the hot sand of Arab. The desert of Arab is famous for its heat. He was dragged upon hot sand. Heavy stones were placed on his chest. Nails were hammered into his fingers, hands and feet. His tongue was burnt. But still, Hazrat Bilal said, you can cut me into pieces. You can take my life from me. But you cannot take the love of Rasulullah out of my heart. You cannot take the love of Rasulullah out of my heart. कहते थे ये बिलाल तशद्दुद पे कुफर के. Bilal used to stay upon the torture of the kufr, upon the dukh which the kufr, disbelievers have given them. They used to say that you can take my life, you can kill me, you can cut me into pieces, but you cannot take the love of Rasulullah out of my heart. कहते थे ये बिलाल तशद्दुद पे कुफर के, इश्क़ नबी तो दिल से मिटाया न जाएगा. You cannot take the love of Rasulullah out of my heart. Today, as Muslims, in which direction are we heading? What are we doing today? Because my time is finished. Today, what are we doing as Muslims? How many of us are practicing Muslims? How many of us are true Muslims? How many of us are real Muslims? And how many of us are Muslims only by name? Hazrat Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in his time, there was a young lad whose name was Muhammed. His father kept his name Muhammad and the name of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But that youngster, when he grew up, he became a sinful person. He became a disrespectful person. He became disobedient. He started to break the laws of Islam. He started to break the teachings of Islam. He went against the practices of Islam. And every time he used to do something wrong, people used to say, look, Muhammad is doing wrong. Look, Muhammad is being disobedient. Look, Muhammad is being disrespectful. The companions were hurt. The Sahaba were hurt. They went into the court of Hazrat Farooq Azam radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And they said, oh Hazrat, his name is Muhammad. His name is Muhammad. But his actions are worse than hypocrites. He does something wrong. People say, look, Muhammad is doing something wrong. Muhammad is swearing. Muhammad is being mean. Muhammad is being rude. Our hearts get hurt. Hazrat Farooq Azam said, call him. Hazrat Farooq Azam called him into his court. Hazrat Farooq Azam said to him, oh son, only 2 words. No third. Only 2 things for you. Either change your name or change your character. Either change your name or change your character. You cannot have the name of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and have the actions which are worse than hypocrites. Today as Muslims, what are we doing? Our names are Islamic names. But how many of us are practicing Islam? Remember, the identity of a Muslim, the identity of an Ashki Rasul, identity of a true lover is not clubs and casinos. The identity of a true Muslim is not standing on the corners of streets. The identity of true Muslims is not smoking and spliffing on the corners of streets and parks and spending time in clubs and casinos, spending time with girls and mixing communities. What is the identity of an Ashki Rasul? What is the pehchan of an Ashki Rasul? What is the sign of a true believer? The sign, the identity of a true believer and true lover of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is Salatullah, is the prayer of Allah. The identity of a true Muslim is Kaabatullah, the house of Allah. The identity of an Ashki Rasul is Kitabullah, the book of Allah. The identity of an Ashki Rasul is Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Attaching yourselves to the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Otherwise, when you die, you're going to enter into the grave and you will be accounted for everything. The way we are living today, we are no different to the non-Muslims. They are living, eating, drinking, chilling, and they die. And if we are going to do the same thing, eat, live, drink, and die, then what's the difference between Muslims and non-Muslims? We are going to be accounted for everything we have done in this world. We are going to be questioned for every moment. ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ, the Quran says. And on that day, everyone will be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every minute you have spent in this world, every second you have spent in this world, every small, minor blessing which you have used, you will be questioned for. We don't have time for namaz, we don't have time for Quran, we don't have time for zikr, we don't have time for fikr, we don't have time to practice our teachings. What is going to happen? Come towards the teachings of Islam. Come towards the practices of Islam. Enlighten the true love of Rasulullah inside your hearts. This life is only temporary. Few days, few years, few months. We're all going to die one day. Every being is to taste death. I am going to die. You are going to die. But if someone here knows when they are going to die, put your hand up and tell me. Tell me the date and time when you are going to die. No one knows, only Allah knows. And the big question is, what preparation are we doing? What have we prepared for our death? What have we prepared for our hereafter? What have we prepared for our grave? No one is going to support you. No one is going to help you. Your friends, your family, your relatives, they are all going to leave you. In the grave, if someone is going to help you, it is going to be Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. On the day of Qiyamah, if someone is going to help you, it is going to be Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then why not become loyal to Rasulullah? Why not attach yourselves to Rasulullah? Why not attach yourselves to the practices of Rasulullah? Ki Muhammed se wafa tune to hum tere hain. You become loyal to Rasulullah, you become loyal to the teachings and practices of Rasulullah, then we are all yours. Ki Muhammed se wafa tune to hum tere hain. Ye jahan cheez hai kya loho kalam tere hain. You become Rasulullah's, everything shall become yours. Allah Rabbul Izzat के दरबार में दुआ है, हालांकि कायनात हम सबको दीन हक समझकर अमल करने की तौफीक अता फरमाए। आखिर में फिर हजरत अल्लामा मौलाना बशीर साहिब और जनाब मुख्तरम अलहाज मोहम्मद हनीफ साहब का दिल की गहराइयों से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ कि मुझे यहाँ आकर कुछ बातें आपके सामने अर्ज करने का मौका इनायत फरमाया। इंशाअल्लाह मैं रब ने चाहा तो जिंदगी की किसी मोड़ पर फिर मुलाकात होगी। तब तक के लिए वाखिर दावाना।